I see you're wearing the Shepherd swag. You went with the magenta today. Good choice.
I am, yes. Had to represent.
Yeah, I thought about it. I have a Shepherd jersey I was gonna wear. Maybe I should put it on.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Okay, I'll put it on. Have you seen the jerseys we got for NYC?
I have not. Was that this year?
Yeah. So we did we did 3 giveaways each day, and so we did this
Oh, that's
Indianapolis
sweet.
baseball jersey, and then the 41 is the first part of the street address at East Washington.
4107.
Yeah,
There it is.
and then we did an Indy Clowns like Negro League historical jersey giveaway.
Okay.
Yeah, are you familiar with that? Like they're Banana League now,
not.
but Hank Aaron played for the Indianapolis Clowns before he went to the Braves. I'm not sure where the Braves were at that time, but
Really?
yeah. Okay, wardrobe refunction, not malfunction. It's just kidding.
There
I was
you
gonna
go.
wear this for an interview. We're doing an interview with a fellow later today, and I was like, I'm gonna wear my Indy shirt today, but I don't know if I'm gonna. Anyway, you inspired me, bro. You inspired me. We're bringing the Indy today.
All right.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for making some time after the summer internship, before you start up school and whatever else you got going on right now. Thanks for making some time to let me interview. I did already start the recording just because sometimes it's like the good stuff happens when you don't hit record. And I just wanted to like start that way.
Yeah, I got to get the wardrobe change in there.
Yeah. Okay. Just kind of like setting the scene here between the two of us. You and I don't know each other very well. Like I met you through the interview process. I had an application call with you. I led the interview with you for the summer internship. And then we texted a little bit before you got to Indy. And then I saw you when I came to visit one time during the internship. And then we maybe had 1 or 2 texts. And then we did the week 4 meetup where all you guys were on the couch at the mansion. We're just all piled on there and seemed to be having a good time. It looks like no one was forced to be there. Like this was fun.
No, it was all free will.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then I like texted you again. How was the summer? And could I interview you? And here we are. That's like how much we know each other. Am I wrong in any?
No, this is true. This is true.
Yeah. I have not over embellished the extent of our contact together.
No.
Okay, sweet. What are you doing between the summer internship and when school starts? Like, what does life look like in these weeks?
Well, it's been pretty relaxing. Just been at home. I was able to visit some family in Ohio before coming back here, but now I've just got like 3 weeks before heading back to school. So hanging out with family and old friends. That's about it. Yeah.
So where are you right now?
I'm in Kansas City, Kansas.
And is that home for you?
This is home. Yes.
I think I'd put that all together. But you go to school at Olivet?
I do.
Okay. Why did you choose Olivet rather than going to Mid-America? That seems closer. Like the commute's better.
I've grown up at College Church on MNU's campus. It's like 10 minutes from my house, but I kind of just wanted to be away from home for my college years. So, and I've had other family that's gone through all of that. So it just seemed like the place to be.
I get that. All 3 of my kids went to Northwest Nazarene. We live in Nampa, Idaho. And I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, I think that circumstances and the Lord leading them through those circumstances and directed them there. I had one son that went to school at a different school for a local school for 2 years and then switched to NNU, which totally shocked me that he did that even. Yeah. And NNU is great. Like my wife and I met there, school, you know, and I have longstanding relationships over 30 years now with people at the school and students each year and stuff. And my kids all went there and I was like, man, I thought that they would like fly the coop, man. I thought that they would like, I need to get out of town. So I get why people want to stay. And I also get why people are like, you know what? I want to go someplace else away from like my family and do this college thing. And how did that work for you? Like, how did that, when you were like, hey, I think I'm going to go to Bourbonnais for school, family?
You know, it was a good experience my freshman year, at least. Looking forward to going back. It was definitely weird being away from family for that long, but at least my older brother was there. So I still had somewhat of a connection family-wise.
So your older brother's a staff or student?
No, he's going into his senior year.
Senior, okay.
This coming year, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Well, I didn't send you any of these questions that I've asked you. These are just all stuff I'm making up on the fly. You know,
it's all good. No worries.
Okay. I do have the questions. I do have the agreed upon, well, at least I shared with you. I don't know. You don't have to answer anything that I ask you, Spencer. You could be like, no comment, or I plead the fifth, or whatever.
Good to know.
Here's a plead the fifth question. And here's what's great about these interviews. This platform I use, it uses AI to do the post-production. So I can type in a keyword, it finds it in a visual transcript, and I can completely delete anything that we talk about or that you say, and you're like, you know what, that was kind of personal, or yeah, I shared that story. I don't know if I want that out there. Like, could you take that out before you put this in the webosphere? I do that all the time when I interview people.
Okay.
Like sometimes the best stuff we'll talk about, Spencer, we can't or don't want to share with anybody else. And it's just for us. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. So here's one of those questions, also not on the script.
Okay.
Was there anything this summer at Shepherd that was just like a little bit unhinged? And you're like, I cannot believe that this is happening right now. Was there anything like that?
Oh, man. I mean, I felt like there were definitely some times with the kids where it was just like sheer chaos. I remember one day we had 4 teachers in our classroom and 2 of them were gone. So it was just me and another one. And she was outside with one of the students in the hall that was having a meltdown. And it was just me in the classroom. And it like they were just going crazy and I could not get them under control. And it was rough, I gotta be honest. But we made it through. We did
How'd
it.
you get through that?
A wing and a prayer, really? Yeah, just hanging in there. I kind of just gave them worksheets and stuff to do, and then just let them go crazy till my other teacher came in. So
The storm hit and you got through it.
yeah,
What week was that? Do you remember of the 7 weeks of summer program?
I think it was the last week, honestly, because
Okay.
one of our teachers had to leave a week early, so I think it was like the Monday or Tuesday of that last week. So yeah,
So it was like you've been there, you had the experience, you had the relationship with the kids, you knew the people you were working with, and you were down a couple people, and the kids were just like, "Here we go."
pretty much, yeah, just
Was
all
it a
boiled over in one moment.
was it like a classroom conspiracy where the kids are like, "This is the moment that we're going to rise up," or was it just
It could
like
have been.
individual kids and just everybody started sparking off of each other and it just like built?
I mean, it's always kind of like that. Like it kind of starts with 1 or 2 people, and then like other people will see that they're messing around, so then they'll join in, and then it just all kind of erupts out of that. So
Yeah,
that
all the
was my
oxen free.
experience.
Here we
Yeah.
go. Okay, well, let me get back to my script so I don't completely just abstract random rabbit trail this whole interview with you, Spencer. Do appreciate you taking the time. Hope we probably won't be on here more than to the top of the next hour, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. I got nothing going on.
Okay. So we've done a little bit of background already, but I'd like to know just more about you, like where you were born, where you went to school, like all the boring stuff of life that helps shape who we are. I want to know that about you.
Okay, so I think I may have mentioned this, but I've been in the Kansas City area my whole life, specifically like the Olathe, Overland Park area where Mid-America Nazarene is. I went to a private school through K through 12. We had like 39 kids in our graduating class. Family-wise, I have 3 siblings, one older who's also at all that with me, 2 younger brother, younger sister. Yeah, going to church at college church my whole life. All the mission trips, church camps, all the things, retreats, went to those all the time. So yeah.
Who were your different, like the youth pastors, middle school, high school, and while you were there?
Who were they?
Yeah.
So the children's pastor that I had when I was first starting out, like K through 5, his name was Troy Snyder. Then he left and we had James Abbott came in. After, when I got to middle school, we had Jen Rosema and then Landon Fry also helped out with that. And then got into high school and it was Hannah Beers. That was our high school pastor.
Okay.
So I wouldn't think you would know any of them.
Hannah,
But
I do. I've actually known Hannah a long
oh,
time.
you do?
Yeah.
She was from the Idaho area.
Yeah. We didn't know each
Yeah.
other really well, like at school. I think I'm a little bit older than she is, but maybe quite a bit older than she is. But we did connect up over the years in youth ministry and stuff. And when I would come to Olathe to Mid America for different things, I would hit her up. And then she married a guy from Nampa, and I knew
Yeah,
him.
Colin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Colin. We had so last summer, and they did it this summer as well, but I haven't been able to go until I'll be able to go this next Monday. But we joined the Kansas City District Softball League, and Colin was on our team last year. It was just like me and a bunch of other guys that we graduated with, and then Colin was on the team too. So
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Okay, we got some life story in there. What about some like momentous events? Like what's something in those years before you graduated high school that were like just super formative, like a moment that really stands out or shines, or like was hard, but you're like, this really helped shape me?
Man, like something that was like really difficult.
Difficult or exciting, or I mean, it could be like an awesome life event. It could be a spiritual thing. It could be like, I sometimes I think back to youth group and I'm like, I learned to throw a tomahawk because we went on backpack trips in the Wind River Mountains in Wyoming. That's where I learned to throw a tomahawk, and that's a sweet memory for me. So it could be something like that too.
Oh man, big formative event. Should have put this one in the script.
I know I should have. I'm winging this. How about let's stick with the spiritual. Just like, was there a
Okay.
moment or two in there where you're like, this was really important between me and Jesus?
Yeah, I think that I actually have a one for that. I was at this summer camp this one time. It was probably COVID year, like 2020, around there. So I would have been like going into my eighth grade year probably. But I was at this summer camp, and basically it's kind of cruel the way they do it. Like the first night you're there, they give everybody a note card, and they're like, all right, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely do you think you're going to go to heaven if you die tonight? And I was asked that question, and I was like, what in the world? I don't know what my chances are. Like, I can't see that. I don't know what it is. And so basically, like, the counselors will have one-on-one conversations with you throughout the week. And that was one of the things I brought up with him, was like, how do I make sure I'm a 10? And because I think then I was very much focused on like a works-based salvation.
Mm.
But just, I don't know, the way he explained it to me, just like it's not our works that saves us, it's our faith that saves us. And, as we build that relationship with God, then the works will start to flow out of that. But that's not how you achieve your salvation. That price has already been paid. So just the way he explained that to me was really revolutionary in my mind at the time.
Was it a
So,
freeing moment for you?
yeah, definitely.
That's awesome, man. So was that like a before I was like this and afterwards? Like, it sounds like you had a relationship with Jesus, but the way that you looked at it was all about like, how can I be good enough and do enough and not just relying on his grace.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool, man. All right. Back to the script, bro. Back to the script. So you go to Olivet and you're
Yes,
studying what at school?
I'm studying biology.
Okay. Best intern I ever had was a biology major, dude. He was a worship leader
Really?
and like better than any ministry student that I ever, if you're listening to this and you were a ministry intern with me, I'm sorry, but Adam Lyon, biology major, amazing, amazing youth ministry intern.
Was he all of that too?
No, he went to the school out here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what are you doing at school? Like, I mean, you're doing school at school, obviously. There's
Yeah.
academics and whatnot. That's what we're paying for here. But like, what else is going on? What do you enjoy? What are you involved with? Are there leadership things? Are there clubs? Like, what's kind of the flow outside of the classroom for you?
Yeah, so the main thing I was in, well, I guess there were a couple of different things I was involved. Intramurals is always a big one. I'm always trying to do as many different intramurals as I can. I'll still be in Orpheus Choir at all of that. That's been really fun to build relationships through that. And other than that, going into this year, I was elected to be one of the sophomore class representatives. So I'm not really totally sure what that's going to look like, but I'll be doing that. And then I'll have a couple of campus jobs this year. So I'll be working at the rec.
Okay.
And then like with the alumni office, they have an events team
Yeah.
that does like homecoming, graduation, stuff like that. So I'll be working with them as well. So it'll be a full semester.
It's going to be busy.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you're looking forward to it though. Like
Yeah, I'm ready to be back. Yeah, I have a lot of good friends up there, so ready to be back in the burb.
well, nice. When does when do you move back to campus and when do classes start?
I'll be moving back in on the 19th, and then classes start the next Wednesday, the 24th.
Yeah, a lot of campuses. That's kind of the timing for that. Are you doing anything really fun before, like with family or friends or just a trip or something before you go back to school?
No trips. I think my brother and my new sister-in-law, they're coming to visit. I think in the next 2 weeks they'll be coming down because they have their Kansas wedding reception. And so I think me and my brothers are going to go golfing one day.
Oh, fun.
Just nothing too crazy, just hanging out with people. So
that's good. It's chill and you'll be ready to go back. I mean, you've already had an intense 8 weeks of the summer at Shepherd. Let's talk about that. I mean, that's kind of the whole reason for this. I've been asking you all kinds of other stuff for 20 minutes or so now. So
Let's do it.
okay. Why? How did you hear about Shepherd, and what motivated you to apply and to kind of follow through with the application process?
So I heard about Shepherd because I was walking into the campus dining hall one day, and they'll have like booths up every now and then, but I don't really like stop and look into any of them. But Alan Sutherland, the recruitment officer, he was talking to one of my close friends that I had made at school. And so I just went over and kind of joined their conversation, and he just like explained what Shepherd was. And like at the time, I didn't have anything planned for the summer and seemed like a cool opportunity. I prayed about it for at least a couple weeks before I actually applied. But yeah, that's kind of where it all started.
Nice. And then through the application process, and that's where you and I got to know each other. What was there anything in there that was like super confirming for you that you're like, okay, I'm pretty sure this is what I'm supposed to do with my summer?
Not really. I don't think so. It kind of just happened. I know I talked to my parents a lot about it, and they were very encouraging of it. Just being able to go to a new place and like involve myself in different experiences and stuff. They were very encouraging of that. And I just like as I prayed about it, it just seemed like the right thing to do. So
I got two questions. One of them, I'm trying to decide if I should ask it, and the other one I want to ask. So the second one I want to is, what was it about Shepherd as you were learning about it and as you were discerning about it that you're like, I really want to go, I want to go be a part of that. I want to go do that. I want to like the tasks and like the roles and responsibility. Was there anything specific? So that's the second question. So just hold on to that
yeah,
one.
okay.
The question I've been thinking about, should I ask this or not, and I'm going to anyway, is what if we'd interviewed you and then the staff were like, hey, Spencer, thanks for interviewing. We think you're a strong candidate, but not a fit for us. What would you have done with your summer? What would you like? What were your other options that you were looking into or wondering about?
Well, there was actually, I got a call that it was actually like right around the same time as I learned about Shepherd, but I got a call from the same summer camp I was talking about earlier that I'd gone to growing up. And I guess they just had my contact information and they reached out about wanting to see if I wanted to go there and serve as a counselor there. And I knew that there would be a lot more positions for that just because it's like a 10-week, it's week by week, but there's 10 total weeks. And so there's a big need for counselors there. So I knew that would have been pretty available if I wasn't able to get on at Shepherd. So that was probably my plan B. But as far as Shepherd goes, I had worked with children at my church once a month, like throughout high school, and I really enjoyed getting to do that. But I was only able to do that once a month. And so like I knew a good amount of the kids, but I wasn't really able to like really build strong relationships with any singular one of them or whatnot. So I think like just hearing about Shepherd, like I was going to be able to be with the kids all day and then like all week for 7 weeks, then I would like actually be able to build relationships with the kids. So I guess that was kind of the thing about Shepherd that I was drawn to the most.
Okay. And I want to ask a really general overview question, and then we'll get into specifics. But just in general, like this is the answer you give when somebody say, hey, what'd you do this summer and how did it go? And then if you spend more than like 10 seconds telling them, their eyes glass over, they start looking over your shoulder. But
Yeah.
like they just want to know the basics, right? So I want to know like the 30 seconds of like an overview of like, how did the summer go in general? If you just kind of free flow on thinking about it.
30 seconds. All right. The summer went great, I thought. Obviously, not every moment was very enjoyable, like the times that the kids would crash out or whatnot. But overall, like I mentioned, like I wanted to be able to build relationships with the kids, and just the way that Shepherd was structured was very encouraging of that. Just spending a lot of time with the kids in the classrooms, and then also having like field trip days where we could go outside of the classroom and we could see them exploring a museum or playing around in a park. Those were always really cool moments. So
You took
yeah.
my 30 seconds like literal. Were you watching the timer while you were talking?
I was not watching the timer, but I was trying to speed it up there.
You just had that internal clock. Like I wasn't gonna hold you to that. I was just trying to prime the pump, man. You know, I was trying to see what would happen. All right. Well done. Well done. With Shepherd, What age group did you serve with, and what was your role in serving with that age group?
So I was with the enrichment program, which is K through 5. My specific class that I was with was the third graders. And so basically we had 26 kids split between four of us teachers that were in the classroom. And basically in the mornings, they would have an actual teacher come in and teach them math and English and like reading stuff. And during the mornings, we would just kind of like walk around the desks and see if they needed help with those problems. And then we'd go to lunch. After that was they'd have other lessons that we would lead because the teachers would be gone by then. So we'd give like Bible lessons. I always wanted to give the health lessons just because I was more geared towards what I'm trying to go into. But yeah, then we'd have free time, just let the kids run outside or watch a movie with them. Yeah, that was about it.
When you said what you're going into with biology, I forgot to ask you, and with your major and everything, where are you going with that? With biology, I always assume like a medical, but that sounds wrong. It sounds like more like you're thinking like a kinesiology kind of health PE thing.
Well, man, it's weird because like I kind of know what I want to do, but I kind of have no idea what I want to do. So like
That's not weird.
at
That's
the mo
normal. That's just normal, Spencer. It's okay.
well, okay, I guess yeah, but I want to go into medicine, and
Yeah.
so I don't know. I haven't really like mentioned this at all, but recently I keep running into like dental professionals and just like getting to pick their brains and stuff. I've shadowed one of my roommate's dads. He has a dental practice, and I've shadowed him a couple times and just other dental professionals. So I don't know if that's what I'm being led into or some other specialty, but just trying to figure that out as well. So
Sounds like you're curious about that. Like you're noticing these dental conversations keep popping up. You keep running into them and you're like, what's going on here? Should I pay attention to this?
yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
So just yeah, trying to figure that out. But
Okay. All right. With the kids that you worked with at Shepherd, what's one of the funnest activities or funnest times or moments that you?
I think the most fun times for me were when we were able to go on those field trips, which was pretty much every Friday we would go somewhere like some kind of park or we went to the Children's Museum one Friday. They went to the zoo. That was the Friday, the weekend of my brother's wedding. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to go on that one. But I think just being able to like be with the children outside of the classroom was really enjoyable for me because like I'm not a teacher. I don't really know how to which I got better at leading the lessons as the summer went on, but I felt like I was mainly there just to build relationships with the kids and being off site at some like park or museum. I think those were the times where I was able to like really hone in on the relationship aspect with all the kids. So those were probably my most enjoyable moments.
Do you think we did a good job in the interviewing and application process and in leading up to coming to Shepherd and even during training week? Do you think overall we did a good job of sharing with you like what your role is going to be, what your responsibilities are going to be, like what this is going to be like? Or were there some gaps where you were like, they tried to prepare us, but they didn't prepare us for this. Like I didn't know that I was going to be having to do this.
Well, I think with kids, it can always be unpredictable as far as like how they'll be behaving. But overall, like I knew that I wasn't going to have to like actually teach them, like, especially like reading and math, because those are things that like you need to be certified to be able to lead. But I knew I'd be leading other like small lessons. I don't think I knew that I had to put those lessons together actually, but that there's a pretty relatively easy learning curve with that. But yeah, overall, I don't think I was very surprised by much of the responsibility that I had at all.
What
So,
what do you thanks for sharing that. What do you think I could do better in the like the application call even when you filled out an application and all of a sudden you're getting a text from this guy named Kenny that says, "Hey, let's set up a call and talk about your application." And in that call or in the prep email for the interview where we're like, you're going to be you're going to be preparing lessons, you're going to be leading lessons, you're going to be leading kids, you're going to be in charge of a group of kids. Just want to make sure you understand that. Like we do that with everybody.
yeah.
But that's pretty in general. That's pretty general. So and Spencer, you're a pretty sharp guy. You're a pretty sharp guy. You're not rattled from what I've seen. You'd be thrown in a situation. You're like, oh, this isn't great, but let's figure it out. You're not like, I'm done, I'm walking away type of person. You're like, what's the challenge? And let's see what I can do about this. That tends to be the vibe that I get from you.
Well, thank you. I
If I'm
appreciate that.
wrong, yeah, well, if I'm wrong, don't correct me. Let's just go with that because nobody else knows the difference, right? But I
Yeah,
think I'm right. I think I'm right with this. What could I do or say to help prepare someone like you, just to be for it to be really clear that as you come as a summer intern, that you're going to be prepping lessons to teach kids with a team of people?
man. I don't. I feel like I was aware that I was like to some extent that's what I was going to be doing. I don't know. Maybe it was on my end, but I don't know. I really don't know,
Yeah,
to be
and
honest.
this isn't. I'm not trying to like flip this thing and be like, okay, come on, Spencer, we told you. It's just
Yeah,
because you're, I mean, you're just a pretty measured guy, and you consider things, and then you take it as it comes, you know. So you're no drama, and you're reliable. And when someone like that gets into the middle of the summer, and we've we've shared at multiple levels of like this is what the role is going to be, but it still didn't quite land right. To me, I feel like I have a role and a responsibility as a recruiter and as a guide in the application process of like I want to make sure the next Spencer that I talk to is really clear on what we're asking them to. And maybe it's just an expectation thing. Maybe it's like a you got everything and we gave you everything, but you were finishing school and you had a lot going on and you could absorb what
yeah,
you can, and then you get there and you figure it out. And maybe that's okay. Maybe I can't do anything else. Maybe the information's there. I don't know. But I like to ask those questions because I don't want to make the assumption that I've got it all figured out or that our team's got it all figured out. And if there's a miscommunication or a misunderstanding, that it's like, it must be on the college student that doesn't listen and pay attention. I want to assume, no, we shared the information with them. They got it, but it was still different than what they expected. So
yeah, for sure. I think kind of like you were saying, there's probably just a lot of other stuff going on that I was thinking about. And then just like not knowing what it was going to be like living in Indianapolis for 8 weeks. I'm
yeah,
sure there were some things that kind of slipped through the cracks like that.
cool.
But
All right. Well, I'm probably belaboring the point, so I'll just move on with that. But let's talk about living in Indianapolis for 8 weeks. Like you lived in a house with 8 other guys,
8 other guys, yeah, there were 9 of us.
and were you in one of the bigger rooms, or did you have a roommate? What did that
I
look
was in
like?
the four-person room. Yeah.
Okay, what was that like? Like there's a lot of people in one room,
I
big closet, but
it's
still small.
it's nothing I'm not used to. Like in my college dorm, there were 3 of us. Like being at church camps and mission trips throughout the years, like I've lived with 20 guys at a time probably. So it was nothing out of the ordinary for me. I honestly enjoy having all those roommates because then it's like, well, here's like 3 new friends that you can make. So you're with them all the time, and it's like really easy to get connected with them because they're right there.
Sweet. Were you one of the people that was not washing their dishes and letting them stock up in the kitchen
That
when it
was
came to?
not me. No, that
Okay.
was not me. I have my ideas of who it was, but I'll keep that to myself.
That's fine.
But
Yeah, we're not looking to out anybody now, but unless it was you, that I was looking to out. I want to. This was your moment of confession if it was you, Spencer. But I'm so glad to hear
no,
it.
I really didn't cook a whole lot, but every time I did, I made sure to wash that pan before I even started eating. My
Of
my
course you
dishes
did.
were clean. Yeah,
What
I
was
was ready.
food's important. I have this philosophy in from my that I developed in my years as a youth pastor, and I call it the three S's. And it's stuff, space, and sleep. You don't mess with people's stuff. You don't mess with people's space, and then you don't mess with people's sleep. This is like for the junior hire that assumes that a bag of open chips on the bus must be for them, and so they just scarf them before anybody can catch them.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or somebody that thinks it's funny to like empty a tube of toothpaste in somebody's sleeping bag and they find it when they're exhausted at the end of the mission trip. They think that's hilarious, but it's not. It sucks. So stuff, space, sleep, because if you mess with those three things, then you're messing with people's spirituality. You're messing with their ability. You're creating
hmm
distractions for them to connect with God and with like other people. So those are my three S's. When it comes to living in community with a group of guys like that, it sounds like you had a pretty good time. So maybe those things weren't disrupted necessarily, but food's important. I think food, I need to add something to this category here because another philosophy I have, especially with mission trips is if people can eat well and they can sleep well, then everything's going to go fine, even when it doesn't. If you can eat well and
that's
sleep
all you
well,
need.
yeah. So how would you rate like the culinary experience of being a summer intern at Shepherd? And be honest here, like be real.
You know, I don't think my eating habits were all that great this summer. We had the pantry that we could take food from, which was where I got most of my food throughout the summer, which was great that I didn't always have to buy food, but it was mainly like snack items that they had up there. Every now and again, I would take a Walmart run to get like actual food to cook for myself. But yeah, I ate a lot of junk food throughout the day. Just even in the classroom, me and one of my co-teachers, Luke, we would always be chowing down on something, whatever we could find. So I don't think necessarily on my end I was always making the best decisions, but yeah.
Did you ever eat at the center? Did you ever eat breakfast or lunch with the kids at the
Oh
center?
yeah. Yeah, I ate lunch every day there, which I mean, it's cafeteria food. It's not always great, but it does the job. And then I don't normally eat breakfast anyways, but I think towards the end of the summer I started eating breakfast just 'cause like that was an opportunity to have like first interactions with some of the kids.
Yeah.
So just like sitting in there in the morning, then as the kids were coming in, that was always some good bonding time.
Right on. I love that drive that you have. I mean, it's from the very beginning of hearing about Shepherd, thinking about it, learning about it, like you wanted to go spend time with kids. And here you are at the end of the summer, and you're like, I'm going to go have breakfast. I'm going to get up earlier and go have breakfast and be, you had to get up earlier to go have breakfast, or
Well,
was it like,
I was normally up anyways,
yeah, that's
but
cool, man. That's like a thread that runs right through your summer from this experience of like, this is why I want to go be a part of this. And you like capitalized on that, man. You seized the day. Good job.
yeah. Well, thank you.
Is there something from life in general, just of being a young adult, being a college student, being away from home, living in a community with other people, just something that's just a couple of good life learnings or lessons or things that you're like, okay, I gotta adult with this one.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like it's gonna sound so unoriginal, but literally what you were just saying, just like seizing every opportunity. One of my favorite movies is Dead Poets Society, and like
Wow.
the main line in that movie is like Carpe Diem, like seize the day.
Hmm.
So just trying to like take advantage of all the opportunities that I have and not take them for granted, which I'm not perfect at by any means. But yeah, that's one of my favorite things that I try to live by in my daily life. So
Right on. I don't think that's like a default answer, dude. I think that's legit. But my like Gen X memory just got jogged by Dead Poets Society. Like how in the
really,
world were you exposed to that movie? I mean, that's like early 90s.
it's one of my dad's favorite movies. So
Hmm.
I think he was just like, you got to watch this sometime. I watched it and I loved it. So
Did he have you watch other movies from his era
I mean, yeah, we've watched other ones.
that you could
Ferris
talk about?
Bueller's Day Off. I mean, that's not like a life lesson one necessarily.
What are you talking about? I could write a Bible study on that one. I haven't, but I could. I'm sure I could.
Well, I'd love to read that someday.
Okay.
You got to
All right.
get going on that.
That's another Carpe Diem story right there.
It is, yeah, it is. Yeah, there was another movie. I can't remember what it was called. I didn't enjoy it at the time, but I bet if I went back and watched it now, I would like it. But I will have to ask him what that was called.
What describe it? Let's see if you can give me like 10-second
It was
description.
like there was like these kids and they were in detention. I think there were five.
The Breakfast Club.
I think that's it.
It's a
Yeah,
Saturday morning, and one's like in black leather, and one's the prom queen, and one's the jock wrestler, and
yeah.
like, yeah, dude, the Breakfast Club is epic. The Breakfast Club is like a canon event movie for Gen X people, dude. Okay, we
Okay,
didn't
well
know
now
it
I
at the
gotta go
time.
back and rewatch it. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's
I'm sure I
horrible
would
and
enjoy it
great
more
in so
now.
many ways. Yeah, the breakfast. See, it didn't even take. It took 5 seconds. Let's try it again. Is there any other ones that your dad made you? I want to see how good I am at this.
I can't think of any others at the moment. No, jeez.
Were they all like life situation movies, or were they like? Is there any sci-fi in there?
Well, I think the main ones were just like about life. I
Dead
can't
Poet
think of
Society is
any.
great.
No, I love that movie. That's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah. Okay. See, this is what I enjoy about interviews too. Is when it's like if you stick to the script, it's fine, and you get the job done. But there's such interesting stuff if you're willing to just go on a little side quest.
Yeah,
My wife told me the other day that each day isn't just one continual side quest. And I was like, au contraire, that's how I live is side questing. That's the
Yeah,
point.
spice it up.
Was there anything from the summer that really surprised you?
Surprise. I think I had a pretty time I actually got there, and like as we were going through training week, I think I had a pretty good understanding of how it was all going to go down, and just to like roll with the spontaneity and kind of the unpredictability of everything. So, I mean, even when things popped up that were like, oh, I've never experienced this before, I think I was able to view it as like, oh, it's just part of the job. So, I don't think anything came as very surprising to me, to be honest.
Was there something specific you felt that the Lord really taught you or drove home in some way that was like a takeaway for you for the summer?
I mean, I think like at a place like Shepherd, like obviously community is really important. I think my patience was tested in a lot of different ways, just like general things like that. But I think what I texted you the other day is kind of like the big thing that I've been thinking about recently is like learning to trust God that I was able to plant a seed and like even if it's just one kid that I had this summer, just like trusting that he's going to do something with that somewhere along the road, even if I can't necessarily see it myself, just kind of trusting that process. So
Right on. Is there anything or anyone you're finding yourself missing from your Indianapolis experience?
definitely, I think, I mean, obviously all the kids, which like obviously there are some kids that I got closer to than others, but I've really missed seeing them a lot. Like if there was anything that would bring me back next summer, it'd be like to be with the incoming fourth graders next year, like be with the same kids that I was with, but the interns as well, and like the year long fellows, whatever it's called. I think I was able to build a lot of really cool relationships with all the people there. So I think that's the biggest thing I miss from being an indie.
Okay. I've heard rumors of a few different people talking about coming back next year. Do you think that that's like you think that's just like the hype of everybody enjoying each other and it sounds like a good idea right now, or do you think that that's like no, there's some people that like served as summer interns and they really want to come back. And I'm not asking for names. I'm just wondering what your read is on it.
I think it could be a bit of both. I mean, I think we're still in that time where it's like we just left, so it's like that was kind of our normal for the summer. So I think it could be part of that. But then like I think genuinely for me, like I really do miss those kids and like I would love to go back and be with them another summer. I think it just depends on whatever comes next summer. Yeah, I don't know. Could be a mix of both.
Cool. We pay returning summer interns just a little bit more. I think it's like $500 more in general pay. And then there's
Really?
that. Yeah, that's been the precedent. If anybody tells you different, I will send them email documentation between me and them, reminding them that that's the. And I think people should. If you think you come back as a summer intern and you invest another summer, like you've already. This is my philosophy. It's like you've already been there. There's somebody, if you're somebody that they want to have come back, it's like incentivize them like a worker's worth their wages. That's in the Bible. Okay. Like pay people, you can't pay them what they're worth. So give them a little bit of something else. How did the whole scholarship thing, like at the end of the summer, if you finish well, you get your $1,000, kind of bonus scholarship thing. Like, how's that conversation gone? Because I want to make sure that people are taken care of in that regard too.
Yeah, well, I think at least for me, I was not on top of that as much as I should have been. I actually just filled out that form this morning, probably like an hour ago before hopping on this call.
Good,
So
good for
that
you.
was definitely my fault, but no, the paperwork has been filled out on my end. So as of
Who,
this moment,
so who sent that to you? How did you get that paperwork available to you so that you could fill it out?
Edson just sent out an email
Okay.
with the stuff in it. So
See, I like they got that baked into their HR process. And so it's like, okay,
yeah.
this has been a short-term full-time employee and this is part of the agreement with them. And so here you go. So did you get that like before you left the internship or has it been a couple weeks?
Yeah, they sent it out. I think it was the first email I got was the 18th of July. So that was probably like the start of the last week we were there. But I mean, that last week was pretty busy. And then we hung out a lot the next couple days, and it kind of just slipped my mind. I was out of town for a couple days and then got back and realized that I hadn't done it yet. So yeah, that one was on me.
Well, there was no like time frame given of like you have to get this back by a certain time. Otherwise this
I don't think so. It was recommended sooner than later,
sure.
but oh
Yeah.
well.
Cool.
I'm sure it'll
Good.
come at some point.
We touched on this briefly when we were talking about your major. But as far as like the summer internship experience and what you're studying in school, from the outside looking in, I wouldn't see like a direct connection. You know what I mean? But you kind of alluded
Yeah.
to a like, I see this is helping me out with what I'm thinking about doing in the future. I'm curious about, is there a direct alignment between studying biology and serving summer as a summer intern and working with kids at Shepherd? Is there not? But it's been beneficial from what you've shared of relationally, spiritually, missionally. There's been a lot of benefits there. But do you see a direct connection between your major and this internship?
That's a hard question. When I was looking through the questions, this was the one that I was probably thinking about the most. And I would say yes and no. No, because I don't plan on being in a classroom setting necessarily, but yes, in a sense of like I would like to be working with people who are in like unique situations. And I think being with 26 third graders all summer, like there's a lot of strange situations that pop up, and just being able to kind of learn on the fly with those and make decisions that'll help everyone out. And then just like you were saying, like building more community, growing spiritually and missionally. I think all of those all kind of work together. Maybe not if directly, but indirectly for sure.
Sweet. Yeah, I've had people that have said to me after serving a summer internship, this is different than what you told me it was going to be, which I'm like, well, let's review the play for a second here. But how can I be more clear on communicating that? Like I asked you earlier. And then two, they'd go, you should only hire education majors that are working on lessons plans and being in these roles because they're really the only ones that are going to benefit academically from this. And education majors really, they do, for the most part, really like serving in these roles. And so we do recruit
Yeah.
them. But I like it that there's people from all kinds of different backgrounds, some in school, some not in school. And then people that are studying different things. Like if you look at the 28 or so that you were serving with this summer that are out of high school, and they're coming from all kinds of different majors and backgrounds. It's not just education majors or ministry majors. So do you see a benefit regardless of what someone's major would be for them to serve as a summer intern? And if you do, how would you describe that to someone that's like let's say an engineering major, and they're like, why would I go teach kids in a classroom about reading and sea animals for the summer?
Yeah, I would say, especially with the engineering one, because one of my roommates is an engineering major at all of that. One of the roommates I had over the summer, which he didn't work with the elementary kids, but he kind of led the engineering classes or the STEM classes with the middle school and high school. But no, there were all kinds of different majors that we had. In my classroom, we did have an education major, and she kind of took over when it came to like discipline and like classroom structure. I think she took quite a bit of the lead when it came to that. But a lot of the other friends that I made had other majors, and I think they were able to still connect really strongly with the kids. Like we had some business majors in our house. Like I said, the engineering major, I think he really enjoyed leading the STEM classes for the older kids. We had a nursing major who also goes to all of that. She was in the first grade class, and I think for the most part, I think she enjoyed the kids a lot. So yeah, I think there's a place for anybody. Just being able to build relationships with different people, being in a different kind of place for the summer. It's all beneficial for anybody.
So what would be general advice that you would give to someone that finds themselves in the summer internship application and interview process for this next year? Like somebody that's going to come be a summer intern in 2027. What's just some soundbite advice that you'd share?
I mean, we were kind of talking about it earlier, just like take advantage of all the opportunities to build relationships with the kids, because the kids really want that. Like they want to they want to hang out with you and just have fun. Like when you're at recess, like play tag with them. They love to chase you around the playground. And then like eating food, there were quite a few of them that were, asking me to come eat with them, like just taking advantage of those opportunities. And then also with the other interns as well, like you're working with them 9 hours a day, 5 days a week, but like spending time with them outside of work as well. Those were always fun memories that I have forever. So yeah.
Thanks, man. Spencer, thanks for taking the time today to let me talk with you, get to know you a little bit better, and interview you about your experience with shepherd and being a summer intern, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me on.